Welcome. Episode 40, Rick.
Wow.
Episode 40.
We're getting old.
That's pretty cool. I know, right?
Very cool. Very cool.
That's pretty cool. We got there. Bubba Gump hat. Is that what you got on?
I do. I got my new Bubba Gump hat.
That's
and
awesome.
I thought it matched with a little bit of the blue in there and the red to
Yeah.
go with my.
There you go.
So we
I
know
still
where
gotta get
we.
that. I got to cut the sleeves off. I don't have the arms anymore, but I still got to cut the sleeves off.
It's the first time I wore it, so I wanted to wear it with the sleeves, but it'll be sleeveless soon. It's getting warmer.
That's awesome, though. Is that one that you did?
Yes.
That looks great.
I love
that. Looks so great. See that? And guys, you know where to find them. We tell you every episode. Go on there. Hit them up for some orders. Hit me up. So last week we won't dwell too much into what we got going on because last week we spent a little over an hour dissecting Rocky 2 while it was on. Which again, I don't know how everybody's taking it. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't like it. We'll have to listen to the crowd's approval or disapproval. We'll see.
True, that's right.
But we stopped the movie in the hospital where Adrian says, "There's one thing I want you to do for me: win." There it is. There it is.
That's our bookmark, Tony.
That should be on every sports monitor jumbotron and every stadium there is.
Oh,
it's just it. And it like we were talking about last week. His facial expressions on how he was so broken and he was so down, and he was looking at the kid. He's like, if you don't want me mixing with Creed, we could figure out some other kind of way. And then she says that, and his whole face was like, oh. I've been waiting for you to say that.
He lit up.
He lit up. Of course, Mickey's like, there you go. What are we waiting for? And he yells. And then the training montage starts, of course, which oddly enough was played with the Going the Distance music. It wasn't a new song at this point. I was pretty surprised by that.
Right.
But he's got the whole old school training. He's doing push-ups and he's doing sledgehammering in a junkyard, one-arm pull-ups in a playground. Again, no polished gym, no fancy. He's got sit-ups going.
Baby.
Mickey's yelling at him. Oh, it's just I love this training. I love this training montage. And there's the never mind, the shirt was gone. He got the shirt on like you do.
Yep.
He's sparring with the mitts. He's pushing the the medicine ball. He's talking about speed again. He's doing the one-arm push-ups. There he is.
There we go.
Yeah. I got the subtitles on so I could hear what they're saying when it's
now we know them as the Rocky push-ups.
What's that?
Now they're known as the Rocky push-ups.
That's right. Well, this thing here, Sly was saying that was one of the hardest things that he did when training was that log frog hop thing.
Oh,
that it just killed his knees.
I can't even imagine the quads.
See there he is. And then he got this here. I remember doing those when I was younger.
Yeah,
front and back, just pushing them up.
Yeah.
Oh man, no CGI there.
No, baby.
Mr. Creed 3, no CGI. That'll be my one dig for the show. That's it.
Well, that's why the man looks like the way he looks.
Exactly. Right. At 76.
Right.
Going to be 77 in a couple months.
Right.
But yeah, man, he's got more fire in him now. You can see like he's got the desire. Mickey's yelling at him. He's got going good. And then of course the running sequence where he's getting chased by 700 little Philadelphians running through the Italian market, going up the steps and everything. I mean, what's cool about that scene is like so comparative to the original where he runs up the steps, and he ran up the first time where he was all broken and had to walk away with a bad cramp. But the second time he made it up and he was alone, which made sense. He made it to the top by himself. He got up there. And now this one here, it's so poetic. All the kids are behind him. The city's behind him. He's being helped by a lot of people. Adrian's got him going. Mickey's got him going. He's fast too, man. I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think you and I talked about it once before was when he was running by the ship.
He's fast.
They clocked him at like 22 miles an hour.
Insane. He's
Can you
going.
imagine running 22 miles an hour?
He is flying.
Oh,
See, now I got to go back to the steps and try to get up them that quick. He's moving. He's getting
he
up
is
there.
moving. Oh, jeez.
I was afraid of skipping steps that I would fall.
Yeah, right. Face
He's
planting
just
into one of those
look at him.
concrete.
He's just flying up there.
Ugh.
And then of
Did you
course
ever
he's at the
see?
top.
Did you ever
What's that?
see the? Have you ever seen the? What's it called? What would you call it? The where they did the people put on there on whatever it was like YouTube or whatever. They're like deleted scenes from Rocky 2, and they show him doing the punching at the top of the steps, and then they showed the kids like he's hitting the kids.
Yes, I did see that where he gets up there and he
Yeah,
punches and he punches the kid.
yeah, and the kid
Oh,
goes
I did see
flying.
that.
I thought it was funny, you know.
Sorry for coughing so loud. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, I did see that though.
Yeah,
And then after the running scene, he's showing him in bed. He's thinking. Shows Apollo taking the picture off the mirror and crumpling it up.
right.
Just gives it a little punch there. It's funny because in this scene here, the whole movie, Apollo was mouthy and trash talking and confident. And in that scene there, where he's in the bathroom by himself, you look at it and he look at him like he's thinking, like, is this gonna go in my favor? Like he's questioning himself.
Absolutely correct. No doubt about it. I read
He was
his face
looking
the
around
same
the
way.
face he had on.
Yep. I read it
Yeah,
the same way.
yeah. And which
Yep.
is great because it's right before the fight. The whole the press conference, the newscast, everything was all about I'm gonna knock him down. He had no business going on his Ali-esque way. And that one there, he's looking at the mirror and at the picture, like, all right, I got what I wanted. Is this what I want?
Right. And you can almost see a little gray in the hair. You know, you can start to see a little bit of the gray. And then you
Uh-huh.
flash forward to Balboa and he says, well, time, time
Time
beats
takes everybody
everybody.
out. It's
Yeah,
undefeated.
yeah, it's undefeated. And it's just the way he just pulls everything together like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Brilliant.
It is. It really is. And
Just
that's the thing about it too. Like of course, when he wrote this, he only had one other film to piece it together,
right.
but he didn't lose track of that in 3 and 4 and 5 and Balboa. It wasn't like, hey, wait a minute, that wouldn't have happened, or hey, where'd that come from?
Right.
Nothing was questioned as the story went.
Right.
He always took very careful detail into making sure it followed the correct path. It didn't like
True.
all of a sudden out of nowhere something happened that didn't make sense.
Right.
And now, of course, he's driving to the fight. Stops at the church. Talks to Father Carmine.
Father Carmine.
So funny. The announcers here are pretty funny too, though. The announcers is telling that he's 5-1 underdog, which isn't that bad now considering the first fight he was like 100-1 underdog.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, now he's at Father Carmine's. He's like, if I get beat up tonight, it won't be too bad. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he wants. And the priest is like, what are you talking about?
God.
In Italian, he says, so why aren't you at the fight?
Going to the most important event of your life, and you're like,
yeah,
I'm going to make a detour.
But this goes to show you how it tags in like Rocky. He has the faith, a lot of he prays before his corner and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But here he's like, I'm married, I got the baby. In case I get beat up tonight, it's not too bad. He's like, look, I can handle getting beat up, but I just. And again, now something like this gets connected in Rocky 3 when he's talking to Adrian on the beach and says, now there's the kid. I don't want to lose what I got. So it's the same type of concerns.
Sure.
Mickey's angry because Rocky's late. He's punching the wall. He's spitting on the floor.
Yeah.
He says, "Come on, I'm gonna break your head. You lost your brain or something."
yeah,
And he's as calm as a cucumber, Rocky. He's like, I'm here, chill out.
yeah, whatever.
Uh,
He just strolling in. Gotta love him.
he just said there on how he's like, Apollo wants to draw first blood quickly and prove that the last fight was a fluke. And you could tell when you could even tell when they get in the ring, which there is no elaborate Uncle Sam Apollo coming in the ring this time.
Right. He's not throwing the silver dollars.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's all business. And we finally see Rocky in a real robe, nice colors, black and yellow.
Yep.
He goes out there. He's up in the ring now.
And Apollo was just pissed.
Oh, eyes of steel.
Yeah.
Eyes of steel. I mean, he is. Mickey, these people are for you, Rock. He's like, yeah, right. Now here comes Apollo, who's just dancing up, trotting up there.
Yep.
And he walks his way over to Rocky's corner. You're going down.
You're going down, man. You're going down.
Mickey says, don't let it bother you, kid. And Rocky's like, wouldn't it bother you?
Yeah, wouldn't bother you.
How great is that? He's
know.
about to get into this fight. He's like, oh, it would bother you, right? Come on.
Yeah, a little bit.
I've always wondered why they went with the version of Adrian at home. They've obviously filmed another version where Adrian's there because there's pictures of him holding her up with the belt,
right,
and stuff like that. So they filmed that scene. I
wonder
why they opted with this.
I don't know why they opted with that, but I read that she had contractual obligations, so that she was not available for the filming of the end of the movie. So that actually the filming of the end of Rocky 2 was filmed with her and Paulie in the apartment well after the fact. That's what I read.
But when they filmed the scenes of Rocky holding Adrian up when he won the belt,
right?
When was that filmed?
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know.
Sly, if you're watching, you could message me and let me know. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, please. Yeah, inquiring minds want to know.
It's like if I ever had lunch or dinner with the man, he'd probably throw me out because I would ask all these questions like, well, why this and why that? Like,
will you get the hell out of here?
This? You might not even know. He'd be like, I don't know. I just did.
Yeah, right.
Now, when they meet in the middle of the ring and the ref's going over the rules, Rocky does not look very sure of himself here. He's kind of looking around, and Apollo's just deadpan, staring at him, not moving, not blinking. And Rocky's just, yeah, okay.
Yep.
And I think, not that I don't think Rocky was sure of himself. Of course he is, but I think he's questioning it. You could see like, this is a different Apollo coming in this ring, and this is a whole different ball game than the last fight.
Yeah.
But he's in there. He goes. He says, Mickey tells him if he gets through this first round, he's ours. I don't know about that, but Apollo comes out flying. Jab, 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 boom, jab, jab, boom. I mean, he's not messing around this time.
Right. And I remember reading something about where I don't remember if it was Rocky or Rocky 2, probably Rocky, but where it was like he had talked about having some professional writer who used to script the fights. It was like, this one's going to throw a right and this one's going to throw a left.
Well, there's pictures. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Stallone's like, no, that's not real. This guy might come out and he's like, boom, 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 boom. Right, left, jab, hook. And before the other guy lands, and he's like, no, that's not the way it goes. And he's like, well, I don't need you. I'll do it myself. And that's when they said, okay, go home and write it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said he wrote it up like a dance.
Right.
That he had a notebook, and you've seen pictures with him with his notebook. And it literally is like Rocky, 2 jabs and a hook. Apollo slips the hook, hits a body shot, whatever it was that he did.
Sure.
And then they rehearsed it and rehearsed it and rehearsed it, and it was just like a dance. It was choreography.
Right. And can you imagine
But
the hours?
that was after the first
spent?
round. And tells Mickey, I can't believe he broke my nose again. It's the least you worries, Rock.
Yeah.
Duke's telling him, did the switching bother you? He switched from right southpaw to right-handed.
Right.
And he tells him, he goes, don't let up on this man. This man's dangerous. And what does Apollo say? This man's dangerous. I'm dangerous.
I'm dangerous. Yeah.
His head, man, his ego, like you said, his ego.
Yeah. It's his.
I mean, let's face facts. That's what got him killed in Rocky IV. His ego.
True. It's true.
And I like Apollo. I've always liked Apollo.
Him.
Even in the first one, I liked him. I didn't want to see Rocky like hurt him or nothing. He was a likable villain.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the antagonist who you loved.
Yeah,
not like these other guys who play these roles, and
like Clubber Lang, I hated. Drago, I hated. You were supposed to,
right?
And you did.
Apollo just played the part. He was, and then you look at it, it was like, definitely shades of Ali, right? Yeah. But you were either you loved Ali or you hated Ali.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I was a Frazier fan, so but
so you hated Ali.
I really didn't hate Ali, but I was just like, "Will the guy please lose?"
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He's mouthy and he's a cocky athlete, but he could back it all up and do everything he says, and that's the hard part. Is when they're not a humble champion. And they just keep throwing it at you. You're like, shut up already.
Right. Well, there's a big difference between, and I'll switch a little bit off topic here, but who I'm talking about when I say Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Right. Act like you've been there. And then you've got other athletes who are prima donnas.
Yeah. And make a big deal about just because they caught a ball. You're like, you just caught the ball. You're still losing by 2 touchdowns. Chill out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget. Was it Eric Swan from the Cardinals? He had a hellacious tackle in the backfield, right? And he gets up and he's flexing and doing all this stuff. And I think they were playing the Cowboys at the time, and they're just like, the scoreboard is 42-0. It's 42-0. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Act like you've been there. Anyway,
part of the fight. That's all right. We always do. We drift off.
I know.
We're at the part of the fight where Rocky finally tells Mickey he ain't going down no more because he already went down enough.
Yes,
that's it. I ain't going down no more.
Love that.
And he just goes out swinging, and Apollo's still swinging, and this the song for this one was not going the distance, obviously. So Conquest was a much different song, and hence the title. It's
sure,
but he's like the announcers say, Creed's piling up the points, and Rocky's just taking shots to the head. It was so funny because this one here was very different than the first fight, where the last round is the only part of the fight where Rocky had anything in him. If like Duke says, if Apollo stayed away from him, the fight's won. It's over.
Sure. But
and he tells him that.
But Apollo couldn't live with winning off of points.
No.
He beat the man. I mean, or he won.
Yeah, but he didn't beat him.
He didn't beat him.
And you know what, too? I've always wondered, like, just, of course, it's a written story. You don't never really know. But I've always thought that even if he knocked out Rocky in the 15th round, I think he'd want another fight. Right. He'd want to put him down in round 3 or round 2. He needed to beat him like he felt Rocky deserved to be beat.
Right.
He didn't feel Rocky was worthy enough to go the distance with him.
No. Nobody. Well, I mean, he said it himself, and Rocky was, no one's ever gone the distance with Creed.
Yep.
So to Apollo, that's like, this crime that this man, this pug who came out of a book,
Yeah.
he picked because of a name,
Yep.
went the distance. That's heinous to him.
I mean, Balboa has a good round there, and that's what he says. He's like, Apollo lost his first round. I wonder what's going through his mind right now.
Sure.
And I think it is starting to hit him like, what did I get myself into? Should I have even done this?
Right.
And unfortunately, Rocky's eyes starting to blur up and can't really see very well. And Apollo keeps jabbing in his face and snapping that jab.
Yep. Keep sticking that jab in his eye.
And this part here where he's just picking him apart.
In today's day and age, they would have, the ref would have
they would
stepped
have called
in, and
this.
yeah,
And even Apollo feels bad. He's holding him up like, buddy, just go to your corner, man.
Just go down. Just go, he's like, just lay down.
Duke says the left eye's closed. Now bust it. Like, he's just like, please, let's just put him down. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. And Rocky's heart just will not allow that to happen.
He's just not. And you can't say he's like too dumb to realize. He's smart in that sense where he knows.
Sure.
But he knows that this is like Mickey said, you got a second shot at the greatest title in the world. This doesn't happen.
Right.
Take advantage of it.
And there's a difference between, you've got Apollo's ego, but you have Rocky's pride, who's just like, you know what? This is my shot, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to take everything the man has to offer, and I will be standing.
Yep. His heart, his pride. It has nothing against the ego. Now we're in the 15th round. This is about as good as it gets right here. Duke is pleading with Apollo.
Stay away from the man.
Oh. Hey. He's going to fall. Don't fall. He just...
Won't stop nothing.
He's like, please, I can't do this again. Yep.
Yeah.
Look at it. He won't listen.
No.
Apollo's not even listening. He's just mumbling. Ain't gonna be like last time.
He just wants to go. Yeah. Both fighters are like, no.
Here it is. Apollo, don't go for the knockout. You got it won.
Yep. Oh, I got to go back and watch Rocky 2.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Can't get enough. I always say there's baseball season. Then there's baseball season. Then there's football season. And then it's Rocky season.
Rocky season's year round, man.
Yeah, I know. But that's when I always start. When after the Super Bowl, I always start and I go from 1 to the end.
Well, the funny part is that as soon as the round starts, Creed walks in and starts jabbing. So, and the announcer's like, he's going for the knockout.
Yeah.
Duke's yelling, stay away from him. What do you like? And then Rocky almost leveled him, where he almost went down. And now they're just swinging punches like, I don't even know how they have their arms up 15 rounds. I mean, I boxed 100 years ago, not near anything of a professional level. I remember going like 4 rounds and I felt like my arms were going to fall off.
Right. I mean, 3 minutes on a heavy bag and you're like,
yep.
Yeah.
They're both just hitting each other with everything they got. This is just dead center of the ring, toe to toe.
Yeah, and they're throwing punches from way deep down south. And coming way up and around.
Yeah. But here's where he lifts. He lifts up Apollo. He's spitting blood. Apollo doesn't even know where he is. I mean, he's going like this with his arms. Rocky's just ducking them and hitting them.
Right.
And then they both go down, which I was like, what? In the theater. I remember freaking out. Like, why is this happening?
Yep. Jumping to your feet, screaming.
I don't even to this day. I'm like, why? It makes, if you really think about the double knockdown, it's almost like Rocky still had a claw for the championship, still had to make sure that he had to rise and win it.
Right. Sure. And it was not a very easy, by no means. I mean, he's pulling himself up rope by rope
Oh
just to
yeah,
get up there, and
yeah.
oh, and we're
And I mean,
all like,
definitely the tensions in there. I remember, like I said, I remember in the theater, everybody was screaming like it was a real fight.
yeah,
Scream, get up, Rocky, get up. I was yelling, like I was with my grandfather, he's yelling. And then when you saw Apollo just slide, and you knew Rocky was going to be
right,
standing, it was just,
right,
oh my God.
yeah.
Like I said, you would have thought you were at a real fight. I mean, everybody's
But
screaming, cheering.
how amazing is that? You're at a movie, and people are like so engrossed,
Yeah.
so involved, and so just
No, I'll never
you
forget it. I'll never forget the first, all of them. I saw all of them in the theater. They was screaming, like I said, like it was a real fight. It was amazing.
yeah. It just goes
And
to
then
show
again,
you.
right here, like they give the belt to Rocky. Apollo goes over and raises his arm.
Yep.
It's like he knew, like, he
Yep.
deserved it. He
Yep.
deserved it.
Yep.
And then, of course, his speech. He thanks Apollo, thank Mickey. One of the most quoted lines in movie history is coming.
Yeah. Did you ever see his remake on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want it? You got it.
Because you know how many times you probably ask him to say it? How ridiculous is
I
that?
know. I know. You got to be so sick of it. But you know what?
He embraced it. He said when he was younger it used to drive him crazy, but he
Sure.
embraced it. It is what it is.
You
There you
got him.
go.
You
There you
got him.
go. He did. He did.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
What an amazing ending. It was so good. He he won. He did it. He came back, he won, and gave Apollo the fight of his life, and now he's heavyweight champ.
Right.
And so many emotions up and down in that movie. It's good and bad, sad, angry. It's got everything.
It's got to be one of
So
the
well.
best sequels ever made. You
Yeah, I
know,
agree.
there,
I agree.
there's, you go back and I mean, I can't think off the top of my head right now, but there's so many sequels out there, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, whatever. This one
Yeah.
it just captures everything.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, because it was it was like a complete continuation of the original movie. I mean, it
Right.
was literally at the end of the first fight, and then into the hospital, and then kept going, and it
And
was a continuation. So
I was going to say, how authentic is that to show the ambulance ride,
yeah,
you know, from
yeah,
the fight to the hospital, into the hospital. It's just, like you said, a continuation of
it is. I
Rocky.
mean, think about it. If you had some DVD, digital movie editing
Sure.
program, and you obviously Rocky 2 started with the ending of the first fight, so you take that out
Yep.
and you just splice the ambulance scene to the end of the first one. No
You wouldn't know
credits.
any different.
No
You would just think
credits.
it's a 4-hour movie.
You would. You
Yeah.
would. It would just go that seamlessly. So
Yeah. It's incredible.
I
And
mean,
then,
and it's different than 3, because remember 3 now you're catching up with him. They show in the beginning
right,
he's defending his title a handful of times,
right.
so forth, so on. Now he did do it again in 4,
Hmm.
because he had the behind the closed door rematch with Apollo at the end of 3,
Right,
and that's what started 4.
right.
But 2 to 3, it couldn't have been done. Um, but yeah, man, it was good. It was so good, and it was a
Yeah, that
long time that I went where I didn't like it as much as I should have. Like, I
really.
liked it, of course, but I didn't
Yeah.
give the credit that it was due. I always, oh, Rocky's better and 4 this and that, whatever. But you watch it, the more you watch it, I think the more you fall in love with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I
know?
agree. And you and I've touched on this before. It was like, um, you get into moods. You'll get into a mood. You're like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to watch. I'm feeling 2 today. I'm feeling 4 today. I'm feeling director's cut today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Do
5.
you, when you do that though, when you do that, do you do it like I find myself, I'll do it and I'll be stuck on that movie for like 2, 3 days, 4 days.
Oh,
Unless there's something for me to watch. Like if there's nothing to watch, if my wife
mhm.
and I are just kind of what's on, nothing, I don't know. Or if she's not home and I don't feel like putting anything on, I'll go 2, 3 days and I'll watch 2 beginning to end,
Really,
beginning to end, beginning. Yeah. Yeah.
really,
And
wow.
then there's other
See,
days where I very rarely like you said, watch like Rocky 2, Rocky 3. I don't
that's
really
how
do
I am. I'm like, I always, I don't want to say I feel guilty, but I'm like, I feel like I need to see the whole thing play
it.
through the end and then start again,
I'll
but
go on a
then
kick where I'll watch it and then yeah, I'll stay with 2 for a couple of days and then all of a sudden, let me put 3 on, I'll put 3 on. I'm
you
growing to like for the director's cut a little bit more every time I see it.
okay.
I
I
don't I don't
wish
say I did. What's that?
I well, let me just say that whenever we're like trying to find something to watch and we're like we can't agree,
Uh-huh.
I can tell you what will come on, and that is Balboa.
Yeah, yeah,
It
Balboa.
will come on.
I'll
Boom. No,
yeah.
no,
I
no
like you
questions
said,
asked.
I mean, I definitely see where that is more and more, I do believe that's more and more the age. Like I said, I
Yes.
think that if Balboa, for some reason or other, the stars aligned where Balboa, well, a good example. If I was 16, like I was in Rocky 3
Mhm.
for Balboa, I don't think it would have hit as hard or hit as
True.
much.
True.
I think it definitely hits differently because of the age.
Our age, yeah.
Yeah, I think that.
But then again, I was thinking about this today. I was up on the roof and I'm monkeying around and I don't even know why. It's one of those things where the Rocky just comes into your head. I'm like,
Everything's Rocky.
I know, right? And it's just like the way he brought Little Marie and he brought Spider Rico back,
Yeah,
I just thought like, wow, that was just amazing, just amazing. And
yeah.
then I don't know. Oh, it's just
Well, we'll have to see if this seems like. I mean, I thought this was kind of fun. I thought it was kind of
it was
cool talking
definitely
as
fun.
it was playing and kind of in real time and see. But maybe if the viewers are not completely turned off by it and would like to see us do it again, maybe we'll do Balboa
We could
or
do
whatever.
3,
You
4
know?
director's cut.
Yeah.
I will say about director's cut, if we ever do get to break it down, I did like it,
Uh,
but I really felt that the ending should have been the way it was in 4 in the original. I
you mean
didn't
the way the speech and all went and stuff and
I didn't
yeah,
like the music and I didn't like the speech. I loved the way 4 ended in the original
yeah.
with John Cafferty and the speech. I
Well,
was just
I mean, you gotta. I mean, that came out in '85. It was the height of the Cold War. President Reagan, and Gorbachev. I mean, the United
right.
States and Russia. It was a
Tear
tale
that
for
wall
the
down.
times, really. Yeah, it was
Right.
definitely a tale for the times. So it hits a little more. I don't know. I mean, I did like the director's cut, but
Oh yeah, I definitely liked
I
it.
felt they took out like all of the. I understand he wanted to tone down the goofiness of it. I get
Mhm.
that.
Sure.
Uh, they didn't have the robot
Yeah.
stuff like that, but yeah, now see, now I'm gonna have to go watch it again and see what you're talking about. I gotta go see it.
Yeah, I really liked the ending of the original as opposed to the director's cut, but I
Yeah, I
did
didn't
like
like when the speech. I know what you're saying because there was no like triumphant. It was just like sad and it was quiet and it
yeah,
was, you
yeah,
know,
it was just like, but then again, I did like the opposing views of the way that things were done, where
Right.
rather than
Right.
looking at hey yo, Rocco, the meter's running, from Polly from down the driveway at the limo.
Right.
Now you're showing it from Rocky and Adrian inside.
Right. And
I like
Adrian
a
was
lot of
saying,
that.
right. Yeah. See, that stuff, I agree 100%. It needed to be put in there. And some of the goofiness was taken out, like the robot,
Right.
like we said, uh, when he was on the phone with Apollo with the robot. What are you
Mhm.
doing? Oh, I'm just getting dizzy.
Getting
Like,
dizzy, yeah.
all right, with the dad joke. So he wanted to remove that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, make it a little more
But I
serious.
will say though, I remember watching Rocky 4 for the very first time, and I remember thinking, I saw the glove that wasn't there. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I saw that, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
how did that get missed?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
want
Oh, this,
you.
this, you know what? Maybe we'll do that for an episode. I like that
Okay.
idea. Well, maybe we'll go through all of them
Uh-huh.
and pick apart like a good example, Rocky 2. Apollo's jogging to the ring. His towel is tucked tightly. His robe is tied neatly.
Yep.
He's jogging, and then next thing you know, it's opened and it's pulled apart,
Yep.
and he's jogging, and then the next thing you know, it's back together again.
Yeah.
So things like that, like you're saying, when he's going like this,
I
and
want you.
he's in the ring with no gloves on, like what are you doing?
I know. Who was in the ring with no gloves on? And then
But yeah, maybe we could do that. Some of the
that would be
I don't
fun.
want to say bloopers, but continuity issues, maybe that's what they're called.
Right, but I remember seeing the director's cut when Sly did the movie of the director's cut
Oh yeah,
making
yeah. Well, Derek Wayne Johnson did that.
yeah, the making
The,
of.
the making
I
of it,
mean,
yeah.
like, I can't believe I missed that, and I understand because you're so focused. I mean, his head and his head, his thinking is in a completely different space
It's a
than
much
ours.
bigger thing. And also, let me clarify in case Derek's watching this. I don't want him to get upset with me. He edited that. He did not make it, direct it. He
Right,
did the
right,
editing,
right, right.
which is still a great task. But I don't want to take away from the director.
No,
So,
no, no. Absolutely. But I just remember
but yeah,
watching.
you're right though. Slice. It's kind of like being a general manager of a arena. You got concessions, you got tickets, you got this, you got that, and
Right,
like being
right,
a director of a movie and starring in it and
right,
writing it. You got to count on your people, I guess, and
right, right.
in the
And
dailies,
you
that
miss
that scene
this
got missed.
much.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just remember seeing that. I'm like, well, how
All
did
right, so
that
that's
get
so that's our
missed?
homework. That's our homework till next week. I'm gonna
You
watch
got it, brother.
Rocky, all the way up to Balboa, and we'll see what's out of place, what's whatever it may
You
be.
It sounds like fun. It
I
sounds like
know. I'm
fun.
like, I want to go start tonight.
I know. Well, I do got to go watch
Before we
American
go,
Idol.
real quick, I know we talked about earlier off camera about the let me see.
Yes.
There we go. My piece of Rocky Philadelphia movie memorabilia. Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate getting a piece of this. It meant a
Yes.
lot to me. And I'm going to frame it properly. I know it doesn't look good like this, so I'll definitely make sure it looks much better. I know, Rick, you have one as well.
I do have one, Mike. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can't even say it all. I don't have mine. Mine's in my shop at the moment. When I have a moment to get in there and treat it with justice, I will.
Yeah.
Believe
And that's the
me,
thing.
I
I wanted to
will.
make sure it looks nice. I want to get like the deeper
Yes.
frame so it could sit in there nicely. But yeah, I was so thankful and honored that I got a piece. I appreciate it.
Oh,
It really does mean a lot to me. It's very cool that I actually have an actual piece of that building. That's awesome.
Tony, we have an original part of Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
my God,
I know.
it's like it's in our hands.
Yeah, it's so funny too because if you look at this, like when all right, here's a good example. Okay, the package came in the mail. My wife goes, "Here, it's for you." So, and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I opened up the package, and I knew what it was when I saw it in the package.
Right, right,
I was
right.
like, holy crap! I was like, oh, "Mike, you're the best." But I took it out, and here's a good example on how only rockheads would really flip out over this. My wife goes, "The hell sent you a piece of wood?" I'm like, well, it's more than just a piece of wood, my love.
It's like
So,
the what do they call it? The ark, the ark of the covenant. or
Yeah,
something. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
It is. It's
I
like
mean,
it's like,
I'm being very out there, but to us rockheads, that
yeah,
is
it's
the
the way it
holy
is. That's
grail.
the way it is. Exactly.
It's the
So
holy grail for us.
it
And
is.
Mike, I can't thank you enough. I can't even
I
thank you
know.
enough.
Same. Same. It's so
We
cool.
we have an original part of history in our hands.
Of the film. Of the film.
Oh,
That poster was put on there, or whatever material is made of, cloth, I believe. I don't
okay.
know. So yeah, it was in the movie. Now when
It's
we watch the movie, we can look and see I got a piece of that. So
I know,
that's the cool
right?
part. That's the cool
Nostalgia,
part.
baby. It's all about the nostalgia.
That's right. That's right. All right, my brother. Well, I appreciate it. I know we'll end this in a little short since last week we went so long. We'll give the
Okay.
people watching a bit of a break. We're at
Yeah.
41 minutes, so it's like last week was over an hour, man. I can't take you two for an over an
Oh
hour.
my
That's
God.
too much.
You please turn it off.
But definitely leave in the comments what you thought about this, because if you did like it enough for us to do another movie, we'll do another movie. Maybe like I said, we'll do Balboa. But I think next episode we'll do the continuity issues of what was
Sure.
incorrect or correct, or what was put back wrong, or whatever. We can
Right.
look at dissect the movies.
Mhm.
And there's a and don't get me wrong, don't this isn't a bash on the films.
No.
Every film ever made has put out something
Sure.
where the drink you're drinking is this full. You didn't even
Yeah.
take a sip. Now it's that full, and
Right,
whatever.
right, right. There's
And that
always
is somebody's job. That's a continuity director's job to make sure that
right,
everything is exactly like you had it in the last scene. But some things
right.
get missed. It's the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's I guess why they call us human.
yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
buddy.
Folks, like people like Tony said, if you guys have comments, questions, concerns, send them our way. We'd love to answer them.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
You know,
We'll appreciate any input. We're just doing this to have fun. But if there's any way we can make the show better, or
sure.
something you'd like to see on the show, or something you don't want us to see doing again on the show, either way, let us know. Again, we're just having a good time with this. And until
Absolutely.
until we get picked up, and we knock Joe Rogan out of the #1 spot of podcast. Until that happens,
You're
our
stuck with
60
us.
our 63 fewer subscriptions. That's it. So be careful, Joe. We're on your tail.
That's right. We're catching
All
up.
right, my brother. I'll see you next week, man.
All right, Tony. Have a
All
good
right.
week.
See you. You too. Yeah.